recipient of the New York Fringe Excellence Award, and host of the monthly storytelling series Sideshow Goshko. Her stories and comedy writing have been featured on the Huffington Post, SiriusXM, WNYC, New York Metro, and a one-woman show, Vodka Shoes, played to rave reviews as part of the New York Frigid Festival. She was also pretty proud to have performed in Hairspray on Broadway. Her website can be found at www.ohmygoshko.com. Please welcome Leslie Goshko to our stage.
I gotta see if I can do this. I lost my voice today, so thank you for bearing with me. It's gonna be awful for you to hear this. Isn't it? It's like if Demi Moore got AIDS, this is what she would sound like. Demi Moore fans in the house. So we're gonna get through this, okay? It's gonna be rough, but that's how Demi likes it. When I was in high school, I went on one date, and one date only, during which I got car sick and vomited on my date's crotch. And it didn't look like things were going to get better for me in college because I was only meeting guys like Doug. And Doug was obnoxious and self-centered and a horrible person. And I thought this was the perfect formula for me to fall in love with him, which I did. And so I spent all my time listening to Doug, who was going through this horrible breakup with his girlfriend, and I would just sit there and console him and talk to him and just secretly keep my feelings to myself. One day we're hanging out and he says, "Oh, Leslie, did I tell you what the guys on my floor did to me?" I said, "No, what did they do?" And he goes, "Well, you know I like to sleep naked." And I said, "I do now." And he goes, "Well, I got into bed and I felt this lump next to me. So I got up, I turned on the lights, and there in my bed was a dead pigeon." Just as I'm about to say, "That's jacked up," he goes, "Isn't that hilarious? I love those guys." Now, I don't know what malfunction took place in my head in the moment he said that. But when he said that, my brain took a meeting with Kevin Spacey's character from the movie Seven. And then they called in the nihilist from The Big Lebowski. They all got together and concocted this great game plan, which was, Leslie, if he loves those guys that much for putting a dead pigeon in his bed, how much more will he love you if you mail him dead animals through the campus post office? I thought, yes, that is a brilliant idea. That's what I should do. And you know what? That's what I did. And it's amazing. You hear that phrase, like, when you make up your mind to do something, the universe comes to your aid. And it's true. Everywhere I looked, suddenly, there were dead baby birds who had fallen out of their nest, and robins who were decomposing. I thought, it's a sign. Doug and I are going to get married and have babies and be so happy together. So what I would do is during the day, I would make a mental note of where all these dead birds were. Then go out at night with a Ziploc bag, I'm not proud, put the birds into the bag, zip it up, bring it up to my dorm room. But then once I was in my dorm room, I was like, I can't have a dead bird in here. That's crazy. Take that. I would walk it down the hall to the communal dorm freezer, put the bird in the freezer, let it freeze overnight, and in the morning, take it out, wrap it up, and then anonymously send it to him through the campus post office. So I do a couple of these, and Doug starts saying, someone's mailing me dead animals through the campus post office. I say, oh, it must be those crazy friends of yours who you love. And then, just to like switch it up, because variety is the spice of life, like I sent him a dead squirrel in a pizza box. That went over big. So around this time, it was spring break, and we had a big group of mutual friends, And we were all going to go to this gal's place in Montana. And Doug was going to go. And I was telling her, I was like, oh, I'm so excited. Doug is going to be there. Like, I'm wooing him. It's really going well. And she goes, oh, no. Doug isn't going with us. We're dropping him off in Wyoming. He has family there. And I was like, no, all of my hard work for nothing. And I was like, now I have to go to plan B, which is like, let him touch my boob in the van. But I'm like, we'll make it work. So the day comes, we're packing up the van, and we're just about to leave, and Doug pulls me aside, and he goes, listen, I know you're sending me dead animals in the mail. To which I say, that's crazy talk. And he goes, do you want to come to Wyoming with me? What? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'm going to Wyoming. Usually I shout that part, but I can't. Yes, I'm going to Wyoming. We get dropped off in Wyoming. We have an amazing week. I meet his mother, who we get along great together. I meet his childhood friends. We just spend like this great time hanging out. I had my first kiss because I was a late bloomer, sorry. And when we get back to school, I'm like, I have a boyfriend now, like my very first boyfriend that I'm not puking on his crotch, you know? And so, but when we get back to school, things are different. He doesn't call, he doesn't return my calls, we're not seeing each other where we usually see each other, and I just get so angry. I'm like, okay, I can see sending someone dead animals as being a deal breaker, but that's like what got me the deal, like what is going on here? And so I decide to go visit him at his work. He works at the campus music office, and I go there and I look, and I get to the office, nobody's there, and I turn around to leave, and then I hear noise coming from the utility closet. And like if this was a horror movie, I would, you see like the cheerleader walking towards the door with the chainsaw noise, and you're watching, you're like, why are you going there? Nothing good is going to happen there. But it's in the script, so she has to go. I was in the script, so I was like, I gotta check this out. I go and I open the door, and there's Doug and the ex-girlfriend that I consoled him through the breakup with, making out. And because I'm a girl who has self-esteem, I say, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. Close the door to give them privacy. And then, to add insult to injury, he goes, when he finally does talk to me, he goes, well, you and I were never officially together. That summer, I enroll in summer school, and I'm in my dorm room, I'm unpacking, and the door opens, and I turn around to introduce myself to my new roommate. Turns out I don't have to, because I already know her. It's the ex-girlfriend. Just as I'm about to like just kick her square in the vag, because that's the only option I see, she goes, listen, I'm sorry, he's a jerk, we're not together, can we just talk? And I'm like, I'm in summer school, like all I have time to do is sit and talk to people I hate, so sure. So we sit down, she lays it all out that he had jerked her around and treated her badly, and we have this very nice like Lifetime television for women moment. And at the end, I was like, you know what, he's a jerk, whatever, we're cool. We ended up becoming really good friends that summer. We're still Facebook friends to this day, no stronger bond. And, like I like to think that I would have had like my dream guy, like the first run out. But turns out I turned out better than him because I didn't end up alone. In the end, I got the girl, and you know what, that's not half bad, so thank you.
Goshko and unconventional wooing. We're all going to notice that animals more. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. All the people